Hello, welcome to How to Play Getaway, a game for two or more players. This game, of course, comes from Paget.com, where you'll find the rules and everything else with this game. And of course, this is a game from India, which most of their games go in a counterclockwise direction, but this one goes in a clockwise. And honestly, doesn't matter which way you play it in, it's going to be the same result. So you're getting one deck of cards, and we're going to demonstrate a four-player game. So we're dealing 13 cards to each player. Now, different player counts will have different results, and they're perfectly fine in the rule book that if some players have more cards than others, say you have a three-player game or a five-player game, that's perfectly fine. Now, when you start having 6 players to 8 players, it's recommended to use 2 card decks, so this is a fun game for a large group. It's a very simple game, as most Indian card games usually are. There's not a whole lot of complexity. At least the games I've played that have apps, they don't have a lot of complexity. And this one is kind of a fun trick taker, but instead of trying to win the tricks, you're trying to get rid of all your cards, or you're trying to shed. Now, what's going to happen is whoever has the ace of spades is going to go first, and the first trick, whoever wins that trick, in this nomenclature of this game, you have the power. That means you start the next trick. And before any trick is started, any player at any time can take the cards of the player to their left. And if that player's out of cards, they can take the next available player clockwise direction. So one of the things you're trying to do, everybody's required to follow suit like most trick takers. There's no trump suit. But if you have to play an offsuit card like we just saw there, you have played what is known as, in this game, a tochu. Other players call it thula sometimes. It has different names. But either way, if you play offsuit, that player has to pick up all of those cards and put them in their hand, and then they lead the next trick. So they automatically know not to lead that same suit again because that player does not have that suit. So what's trying to happen here is we're trying to find the loser. The loser is going to be the last player with cards in their hand. Other than that, you're simply playing like any other trick taker. So there we just saw a tochu being played, and we're going to lead off with something low. So the strategy in this game is different than a lot of trick takers. This is one of those games where you can have a really bad hand and there's nothing you can do to get out of it. I have not really played this game enough to know the strategy, so maybe somebody more familiar will say something in the comments about actually there is quite a good deal of strategy as far as when to take somebody else's cards. That's the only mitigating move I could see if you have a bad hand. But as far as not being the loser of that hand, I'm not 100% sure if that works or not. So basically what you're doing, everybody's following the suit. If they can't follow the suit, then they play offsuit, and that offsuit card forces that player to, whoever has the highest of the lead suit would take in their hand, which we just saw there. Even though the 3 of clubs was led, a jack of clubs was the higher, and somebody plays a tochu, and the player in the south had to take it and then lead the next trick. So very, very simple game. It's just a game determining who the loser is, and looks like 2 players just went out there. Now, when it becomes a one-on-one situation, the player having to get out basically has to have either a tochu played on the last trick, or has to play a card in the lead suit that's lower. Now, if they have the lead suit, if they lead the trick, they have the lead suit, it ends up being higher than what the respondent played, then they must shuffle the waste pile, as we're about to see now. And we're going to take the top card of that shuffled waste pile and play it. And so it's another higher trick, higher suited card. So he's going to take the top of the waste pile. We're going to shuffle it. And he's going to lead the next trick. And this time he's higher again. This time he's got a great card. And that's it. That's the win. And South loses. So he's our loser. Now you can play us to the best of however many card games you want to play, however you want to do it. But that's just a simple one game of Getaway. Now, of course, if you click in the description of this video, you'll see all the credits, including our Reddit page, Card Game Meetups, where you can go if you want to play cards with some other players. We also have a link that doesn't expire to a Discord channel where people talk cards all day and they have great time and have good conversations, so join us there. Do visit Gather Together Games. Do visit Hogwash Gaming. Do visit Learn Tarot Card Games. There's a lot of great content for those who own tarot decks. And if you don't, you might want to buy one after watching his channel. There's a couple of solitaire channels, and then Riffle, Shuffle, and Roll does a combination of free games and commercial games. Taylor's trick-taking tables, very similar, but all his are trick-takers, like this one. Triple S does a lot of chess variants at the moment, and Lacko does a lot of print and plays, and She Always Wins is mostly a commercial game. I want to thank today's musician, Emma Not Emma. Do visit her YouTube page and find some great music. She made the music that you're listening to now. So do like and subscribe if you want to see more of this content in the future, and we will see you next video.